Good evening. Because not everybody knows us very well here in Silicon Valley, and probably there are more than a few people that don't know anything about us at all, I would like to tell a little bit about who we are and our plans. Startup Network is an internet community which currently unites 70,000 venture capital market participants and helps entrepreneurs to find, to raise pre-seed and seed equity rounds, investors to find and invest in outstanding startups, and professionals to monetize their knowledge, experience, and network. Today we have more than 20,000 startups and investment projects from 55 countries on our platform. And every month, 1,000 new entrepreneurs come to us for investments. We are physically represented in 4 countries today: Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and Kazakhstan, where our partners do everyday operations. This year, we started to develop on new markets, on new continents, and last month, we launched marketing campaigns in Nigeria and India, because we assume that these markets are very much like ours. When I say like ours, I mean undeveloped or development venture capital infrastructure. And also last month, we launched a new service for entrepreneurs who want to start a new project or expand a business, but their startups are not really startups. So we call the service P2B Credit, and it allows entrepreneurs to get loans online. Concerning our future plans, I would like to tell that on January 15th, we are going to start a first batch of our crowd incubation program, which we are going to do online. The reason for online format is that we cannot afford ourselves to spend a lot, and we don't compete with well-known offline acceleration programs. But we want to cover a lot of early-stage startups in different cities and countries. For this reason, we are going to invite speakers from many locations. And if anybody here want to share their knowledge and experience with young entrepreneurs, please let us know. We'll be very grateful. Next month, we also are going to launch a very special service for entrepreneurs which want to start their startup but cannot find team members, as we see it a very big problem. And I can say that this year our crowd investing industry was seriously disrupted by a new kind of crowd investing format called ICO. And we were forced to react to these market changes. And so that I would like to invite on this stage Victor Spark, the CEO of our new project, and he will tell you about our future plans in blockchain industry.
Thank you. Good evening. This year, a very brilliant idea from the cryptocurrency community disrupted the startup market. Buzzwords like ICO, blockchain, cryptocurrency exploded the media, and big exits of early bird investors heated up the market. Therefore, we decided to found the new foundation called Blockchain Business Network, BBN. BBN is a professional network for all the, the goal of BBN is to unite investors, to create ecosystem for investors, startups, entrepreneurs, and blockchain professionals, and give them the opportunity to effectively cooperate and earn money. The key component of the ecosystem is BB.network is a professional network for all ecosystem participants. It provides communication, sharing of members' events, data, news, and provides effective communication inside the network. The second component is ICO-New. It's a crowdsourced platform for running your own ICO campaign with minimal upfront commitments. It provides tools and services to launch a crowdfunding campaign through cryptocurrencies. Its unique approach allows startups to dramatically reduce costs to run their marketing campaigns. And the key element for platform adoption is investor protection mechanism employed through a startup coin, which is a legally binding smart contract. The next component is Every Wallet. It's a multi-currency wallet for investors and business users. It operates with cryptocurrencies, crypto tokens, and fiat, and it is a convenient way for startups who launch their own ICO to utilize those tokens in everyday life. Next component is Every Exchange. It's a secondary market exchange for cryptocurrency tokens. The most natural way for investors to trade those tokens at aftermarket. And the next component is the EveryPay. It's a crypto payments acquiring system for processing payments in cryptocurrencies and ICO tokens. Also, it provides the way for startups to accept their own tokens in their own business processes. And also we launched the Pre-ICO Battle. It's an offline event for startups who raise money at the pre-ICO stage. It allows one to represent the idea to community experts and to raise money at the pre-ICO. 3 battles have been completed already, and the next one is coming. Also, there is a media component of the ecosystem, which calls a Crypto TV. It's a digital video channel with daily news, cryptocurrency, and ICO reviews, and other funny stuff. And other components of the ecosystems are Crypto Education. It's an education platform for investors, users, and business programs regarding the cryptocurrency and ICO. ICO-IM is an ICO rating segregator and asset management tool. There are also a crypto incubator, which is crypto incubation and acceleration programs. A startup may prepare its own ICO and find team members for completing necessary skills for the project, like technical, legal, marketing, also advisors and experts. W2W Credit is a credit platform allowing the startup to get loans in both cryptocurrency and fiat. Last but not least, it's Investors Foundation. It's a foundation aiming to protect investors who use Startup Coin to invest in ICO. Startup Coin is a specialized cryptocurrency with specific features for investors' protection. And there are our future plans. Is a Science Inc. It's a platform for tokenization of innovations and patents. And Person Inc. is a special platform for tokenization of personal demands, a personal ICO project. And of course, we're interested in partners and people who could help us with implementation of our plans. If you have any idea or thoughts, please come to me and we discuss. And I would like to pass the word to our event director, Julius Miller. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to be greeting you this evening at the Intercontinental Startup Battle. Startup Battle is a business format event for participants in the venture capital industry, where startup founders are competing for the attentions of investors. We have already had 100 startup battles in such countries as Russia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Georgia, Poland, and today our second startup battle in good old USA. We are very honored this time to be hosted by 500 startups. I would like to thank Kate Selidets, Marvin Liao, and the whole team for this opportunity. Please, let me tell what to expect today. From 7 till 7:40, panel discussion. The true sharks and so-called old-timers of the investment industry will share their personal knowledge and experience and will answer the questions from guests. Oh, no, not yet. After a short break, from 8 p.m., we will listen startup pitches. You will meet 12 startups from East European countries, which were selected among more than 50 candidates. Each presenter will have 3 minutes for pitch, which will be followed by 3 minutes of Q&A and recommendations from experts based on the result of judges' online voting. One startup will be chosen as the winner of the Intercontinental Startup Battle. And now, I would like to welcome on this stage our moderator of today's discussion, Vitaly Golomb, partner HP Tech Ventures. Daniil Stolerov, investment director, Almaz Capital. Artem Burachenok, partner, Flint Capital. Marvin Liao, partner, 500 Startups. And Alireza Muzrov was supposed, but Adam. And tell to guests what is your position, okay?
Great. Right, no problem.
You know how the mic works? No. All right. Gentlemen, sorry, there's only 2 chairs. Let's begin. Let the battle begin for the chairs. Musical chairs. All right, we're good. So why don't I sit on the side so I could... Daniel, speaking. Yep. All right, so how's everybody tonight? Great. I can't hear you. Oh, the energy in the room. Okay. So what I'll do first is ask everybody to introduce themselves real quick, talk about what kind of companies they're investing in, where they're based, different offices, and whatever they feel like sharing in about 30 seconds. So why don't we start at the opposite end?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Artem. Yeah. Better now?
Echo, echo. Can we turn the echo off? Technical difficulties. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, dive in.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Artem, partner with Flint Capital. At Flint, we invest in early-stage companies across the United States, Europe, and Israel, with a particular focus on B2B, enterprise software companies, and cybersecurity, and to some degree, consumer marketplaces.
Hi, so my name's Adam Dawkins.
It does.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of Valley Residence Messenger. So I'm an investment associate at Plug and Play. We're an early stage enterprise software investor. We also do some B2C. We usually do seed and Series A investments. We're located in Sunnyvale, however, we have offices in New York, Cleveland, and a few internationally as well.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marvin. I'm a partner here at 500 Startups. I actually run the San Francisco office, but I actually also run the accelerator program that 500 Startups is somewhat known for. So I've been here 4 years, made over 300 investments. And 500 Startups, you don't know us, we're early stage venture capital fund that actually invests in, I would say mainly seed stage, but we do some pre-seed deals too.
Does this thing work? Can you hear me? Microphone? Okay. My name is Daniil. I'm with Almas Capital. It's a venture firm that was created in 2008 with the sole goal of helping Eastern European startups, companies, and technologies build globally competitive, successful businesses. We've done it. We've invested in about 35 companies, invested over $200 million. Our companies come or have engineers anywhere between Prague and Vladivostok. We look for companies that and people and entrepreneurs who want to go global, who feel that they can build something that can be relevant outside of their home markets, and we try to help them with that in all means, in addition to providing them the capital. We typically invest in Series A, although there have been exceptions. I think the most we invested in one company was $20 million, but our typical checks are anywhere between, let's say, $3 and $6 million in the first go, and we usually invest in all our successful companies as they grow.
Very good. And my name is Vitaly Golub. I'm a partner at HP Tech Ventures. We're the corporate venture arm of HP, Silicon Valley's original startup. Started in 1939 with a $538 investment, which is approximately how much some accelerators still give to their startups. So trying to lighten the mood. We're a Series A, Series B type of investor. Like many corporates, we have our own process. We're very much strategic. HP is number one in printing from consumer to commercial, $20+ billion business. Number one in personal computing for the last 3 quarters or so. Another $25 billion+ business. And then new business that I'm probably most excited about is this 3D printing business. So commercial 3D printing launched last year. And we invest in companies that are strategic to HP, that we can be helpful to as well. We sell into 178 countries. We have about 250,000 channel partners, and HP will do about $50 billion+ revenue this year. So pretty sizable company, even after it split in two about 2 years ago. So just a little bit about us. I was born in Odessa, Ukraine. For those of you who don't know me, I travel back and forth quite a bit. And I try to be supportive. I'm on the board of the Ukraine Venture Capital Association and try to help companies, especially out of Ukraine, have a soft landing in Silicon Valley. So with that as a first topic, how many of you in this room are entrepreneurs? Raise your hand. Okay, keep your hand up if you're a visitor to Silicon Valley, you don't live here. Okay, So for those of you who are visitors, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm here to get some Silicon Valley investor money, correct? That's your goal? No? Okay, good. So some of you are smarter than the average visitor so far. So what I wanted to do is first kick off, because it's a common theme, there are lots of visitors that come to Silicon Valley looking to raise money, looking to learn, looking to hire people, maybe move here one day. So I wanted to go through the panel, and whoever wants to jump in first, maybe Marvin, because you've seen such a huge, massive international companies. Talk about kind of what it takes, what are the challenges you've seen, and some of the things that, some of the pieces of advice you would give to foreign entrepreneurs coming to Silicon Valley.
You know, there's a lot of myths, right? Because I think one of the things, the first advice is don't read TechCrunch, but don't listen to TechCrunch, because there's actually a lot of stuff is actually really out of context, and so and actually don't listen to media in general, right? Because a lot of it's bullshit, and so the issue is there's a lot of myths that media portray, just like, oh, the Valley is full of money and it's so easy to raise money here, and it's this wonderful magical world. You show up at Coupa Cafe and then VCs are going to throw money at you, and that's actually very, very far from the truth. I actually find that most of the international companies that I see, the international companies that even come through the program that we select for our program, are woefully underprepared for the competitive level that you actually need to actually even just survive here in Silicon Valley, generally speaking. And there's a couple of things. Number one, and this is not a language issue, this is actually more of a communications issue. Presentations tend to be not that great. Sales and marketing tends to be woefully terrible. And just it's just in a higher level of competition of just any idea that you think that you have, there's probably about 40, 50 people working on it here in the Valley from all over the world, right? So it is very, very competitive. That's probably a good start. Anybody else?
Sure. So I guess that's a good start and a good way to think about it. Also, I guess everyone who's coming to Silicon Valley should think about themselves as how they would treat someone who come to their country and being from, I don't know, Namibia or something like that, right? It's totally foreign world and totally different people, and you don't necessarily understand them, and they pitch you something, and especially if they kind of showcase their experiences that happened in Namibia or their customers from Namibia, how much would you relate to them, right? So you're actually competing with someone who is native here, who has customer base here, who has references that the investors can tap into and talk about that person. And those references are here, not in Namibia, speaking in Namibian language. So all of that kind of adds to the confusion and probably makes it even harder. So that's what I usually kind of find the most instructive way to look at that, and that's what we talk about with our portfolio companies and kind of other entrepreneurs that we meet here, or we meet outside, because some of them even kind of go further. They believe they can raise money here in the Valley while still staying outside of the U.S., somewhere in their native countries, which is, and not even having a clear idea how they're gonna move eventually here. So that's, I guess, the worst case.
I think it's also important to leverage resources outside of this area. The cost of living is so expensive. You can have a tech team, let's say in Eastern Europe, for a fraction of the cost. And we've seen a lot of success where entrepreneurs come over and they have their co-founder and their sales and marketing in the U.S. They keep their tech team overseas. It's a great way to lower costs while at the same time having a presence here, being able to meet with investors and so forth.
Daniel?
I guess I can speak, sorry. Well, chances are you're here not just for the capital. You're here probably to build a successful business in this market, and that's not surprising because U.S. is the largest IT market in the world. But to start building a successful large business really starts with finding a big problem to solve, as you know, right? Investors love to talk about pain points. Well, finding a big pain to solve is very hard to do from the outside. And that's usually the biggest challenge that entrepreneurs are facing coming here. They don't have a good feel for the problems, it's particularly evident if you're trying to play in the corporate and the B2B market, right? Have you sold to business customers here? Do you know what they're facing? Do you know what their needs are? Do you know where their budgets are? Do you know who the decision makers are? This is hard to see from the outside, and that's where it usually takes time to confirm your hypothesis for the problem, and actually confirm that the problem even exists. It might exist in your country, but not necessarily here. But you made this first step. You came here, and I think you're on that path to discover it.
Very good. So it's not all bad news. Panelists, raise your hand if you were born in the U.S. See? So it's possible. It's a mixing pot. Were you born in California?
Texas.
See? There you go. So nobody's from here. But some grow up here, and some have advantages. So we already talked about this in the intros, that, or did we not maybe, that everybody wants to have their own little Silicon Valley, right, in every country. But we know that building a new ecosystem from scratch is very, very difficult, almost impossible. So countries end up specializing. Since we have an Eastern European audience and a focus tonight, what are some of the areas that you think locally, each country, what are the advantages that you've seen that each country has? And let's kind of remove the engineering side, that's kind of an obvious one. But besides that, what have you seen that seems interesting where Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, Poland, etc., can actually excel in and be the best in the world at?
Well, I've seen quite a few hardware plays, companies tickling with some type of, I don't know, nice hardware tools, appliances, which is, it seems like a big thing. And I guess the less, due to the probably maturity of the ecosystem as well, the less capital-intensive things, especially if you can, say, do something in ad tech, for example, advertisement technology world, where you can basically start from arbitraging.
Is anybody still investing in ad tech?
Well, I mean, most of those companies are not really scalable. Right. So the question was what they do, is not if it's investable, right? Okay. So haven't we? Yeah. So if we talk about something that can be looked at as a venture capital play, it's honestly much fewer of those. I mean, it is, and this especially because they either target in their home markets, and which is fine. At least some of the countries are large enough to support their own consumer businesses, but they have not. They usually do not have that insight that is needed to.
Well, Belarus is far from China as far as population and market
that's
size.
why I said some of the countries.
Yeah.
Belarus is not there. By the way, although they kind of brag about Masquerade, I guess, which was eventually sold, Consumer Play, which was eventually sold to Facebook. So even Belarus can produce something that is kind of exitable, at least.
Areas I actually think is really interesting, like cybersecurity, which, no surprise, is for many reasons. Cybersecurity is
one big reason.
Yeah, lots of good reasons. There's great, it's not just a tech talent. Just there's some really, really good companies in cybersecurity in general from the region. So that's one area that we look at. I would say some in digital health. There's some interesting digital health companies, and I would say B2B, sort of like SaaS. That part there's some interesting sort of developer tool things that I'm looking at. So.
It might be a function of the educational system or just the general predisposition, but if we're talking about technical expertise, we see a lot coming in the areas of machine learning, in the areas of data science. We mentioned cybersecurity before. All various areas that require pretty advanced and fundamental understanding of mathematics, algorithm, and statistics. So it's not surprising that many of our investment themes and portfolio companies end up with really working with engineers in those fields, in expertise. So there's a lot of technical expertise for sure, but that does not equate to the ability to build businesses, which is really about managerial expertise. But in matching those and putting those together, I think lies the opportunity.
So let's dig a little bit deeper. I like to divide the world of startups into kind of two categories. Some are local services, and depending on the market, you can make a multi-billion-dollar company doing local services. And some are technology or platform plays, and they can be, they're global typically, and they will most likely succeed from Silicon Valley. So let's say we focus for a second on the first one, which is local plays. What kind of business models do you see that are still wide open in Eastern Europe that have already kind of successfully became big companies, let's say in Southeast Asia and bigger markets, that you would suggest for entrepreneurs to think about investing their time into locally?
I'll try answering that question by not really answering that question.
Excellent. That's what we like.
If you look at our portfolio, and I keep referring to it because it's just a good sample of what we could have done over the last 10 years, is that we've seen most successes and most interesting stories coming not from the companies that attempt to solve a problem in the local market. Unfortunately, those attempts are really confined to the size of that market. And Russia, being the largest economy, represents 2% of the world GDP. And you know, if in U.S. corporate software sales amount to $90 billion, Russia, again the largest economy in that region, is $1.5 billion in a good year, like 2010. So you have these confines, there is one exception, though, to that rule. And again, we've seen that actually pan out in our investments. Consumer internet is fairly large local opportunity that you can go after. You know, we in every fund that we invested in, there's one or two stories that we feel is sufficiently large enough to really play out that market. Yandex was our Fund 1 investment. Car Price, which is now doing car sales, is our second investment. But the rest of it is really in stories that try to come here for the market size and for opportunity size.
I would say like local marketplaces in general, they seem to make sense, you know, like the local versions of like a Craigslist. I mean, that's not a great example, but that's the only one that comes to mind. Like local services, those seem to do well. They're big markets, and you can look at all the different verticals, or maybe it's a roll-up of the different verticals. I don't really look at a lot of these type of businesses, but it seems like that still makes sense, partly because of lag time of sort of consumer culture in general, so that could make sense. I don't know.
Well, actually, I guess it depends a lot on the local market we're talking about, because Europe is, every country in Europe is a little bit different, and Russia is different, and Belarus is different. But overall, I agree, services, that's actually what I want to say. The services part, like we have commerce to some degree, like buying stuff online is more or less solved, except that maybe even like in Russia, we do not have Amazon, and it's still an opportunity there, right? And I guess in some of other countries, we do not have the same thing as well. But services is definitely an untapped market. Any like vertical in services, from car repairs or any other, there is still opportunity there. Yeah, so it seems like services should be the next one. Probably groceries should be the next one.
Is the delivery infrastructure there? Right. So if you want to build a marketplace and you're doing physical delivery, things like that.
Yeah.
Is the infrastructure there?
As far as I understand, getting better. And in some Europe, and that's what's important for services, since delivery is like, you do not need delivery because the services are rendered right on site. You basically need only the wiring online to do that.
To introduce the buyers and sellers. Okay.
Yeah, and I think on a local scale, a lot of what I've seen is storage. I know it doesn't sound very exciting, but in some markets, peer-to-peer lending through goods and storing goods has really grown. Even things like bike sharing, it's kind of really grown in the markets.
Very good. So let's kind of zoom out a little bit and let's think 5 years into the future, right? Because it takes a few years it takes about a year to go from an idea to initial product. It takes a couple more years to find, any customers that will care about your product. And if you're lucky, about 5 years, you might have a business. So let's look 5 years into the future. There are a lot of buzzwords, some new ones this year came out. What do you think are going to be the biggest categories in 5 years? Where should people start thinking about building businesses now to end up with large businesses in 5 years? I know you guys all think about it because you put it in your thesis document in your fund.
Exactly. I mean, if I knew that, I would probably be doing that.
Don't tell that to your LPs.
What I tell to my LPs when they ask that is that my job is kind of to watch for entrepreneurs and what they kind of bring and what they talk about and what they kind of envision in the future, and be hopefully smart enough to follow through and to be able to see that opportunity in what they tell to me. And if I'm good at that, I will find the next big thing. Otherwise, I mean, we kind of believe that overthinking that and kind of obsessing too much over what is going to be the next big thing may actually strike back by clouding your vision instead of kind of clearing it.
Fair enough. I'm sure we have difference of opinion on the panel.
So I actually understand the point, right? Because my take is you should have a thesis on sort of what the trends are, at least what the world is going to look like 5 years from 10 years from now. So that's sort of the macro, right? So you should have a good understanding of the macro trends. But definitely from an investing perspective, how we make money is actually on the micro of have you picked the right team and the right folks doing that? Hopefully that fits that thesis. And so I would say, my thesis, for example, I definitely think I'm very, very bullish still on digital health overall. Digital health / computational biotech are areas that I'm very, very interested in, where I see sort of there's not a question about market risk there. Those are big markets. It's just sort of, can the computing space, are there enough entrepreneurs, and are there enough sort of is the technology sort of at a place that you're going to sort of see DNA just become like software, right? So that's interesting for me. And
computational biology.
Computational biology, biotech. That's interesting. Definitely, I'm still interested in enterprise and SaaS overall, where it's you feel like everyone's talked about for the last 5 years, but when you think about the how much of the enterprise software space is still spent in sort of on-premise and not actually in SaaS, it's still a very relatively small percentage. So I still think there's a lot of upside, at least on the SaaS and enterprise software side, and the budgets are huge, right? So definitely think there's lots of opportunity there.
All right, so 500 startups, computational biology and SaaS.
So I'm pretty excited about applying data analytics to industries that are traditionally not very innovative or developed. If you look at agriculture, oil and gas, these are huge industries that have a great amount of data. There's no really way to collect it. You're seeing a rise in oil and gas specific venture funds or agriculture venture funds. They're really investing and making bets in these new data aggregation, machine learning type companies. I think there's a lot of room for growth in that area.
Well, if you look at statistics for exits, vast majority of value for investors is actually created when a company is acquired by a large IT company. So it's always helpful to look at the needs of corporates, because they're the ones that will be delivering value to you at the end of your investment. And for them, you look at their needs, you look at where the budgets go, and then what we do is that we'll look at the new technology, the new horizontal trends. We see and we try to model how those new trends are going to affect those areas for corporates. And we're talking, the horizontal trends would be, neural networks, machine learning, or blockchain. And then you look at those trends and you see how this is going to affect security, or how this is going to affect storage, how this is going to affect sales or sales automation, how this is going to affect marketing. And then you see how those things can be applied to those vertical areas. And usually when there is an interesting fit to change the old way, this is where an opportunity usually lies.
Very good. So, very simple question. What excites you about a company?
So I think for me, we look at very early stage companies. It's largely the team. You can have a great product and you can have a great market. Any startup that addresses a large market is awesome. But at the end of the day, the team's very important. You've seen a growth in funds looking for analytics around teams. Even firms like Social Capital now, they're applying analytics through looking at a company sight unseen, then they'll invest. But really looking at the team, their background, their education, their drive, motivation is something that excites me.
And what do you want to see in the team? Like, what's the combination? We want to get more specific.
So, usually 2 or 3 co-founders. You need a CTO and then a technical co-founder as well. One founder is a kind of a red flag as well as 4 founders. If it's very early stage, so let's say your pre-revenue seed, maybe it's 2 founders, 3 founders, and then 2 or 3 other developers, or like 1 person in sales. But usually what we're seeing is these companies come to us and they're looking for funding, and part of the funding is to grow the team, and then the rest is for marketing development and so forth.
Since we're also invest in early stages, team is also paramount for us. And I guess the quality that we're looking for in the teams is their speed to market, I can call it. So how fast do they iterate? How fast do they because when you at the early stage, you do need to try and fail many times before you find right combination of the things you need to do in the marketing, in the product, in your sales, wherever. And in order to do that, there is no shortcuts. You need to test number of things, fail number of times, and then figure out what to do. And in order to do that, you need to do it fast. Otherwise, you will run out of money, and you need to. So you need a team that is capable of doing that fast. And the other thing is, we're looking at team in terms of how they speak about the business opportunity in front of them. And it's kind of everyone is, at least like these days when there is so much content on the internet about what investors looking for. You can, if you're smart enough, you can read about it. Okay, so I need a huge market, so I can put it into my slides. We're going after large, enormous market, no problem. But the thing is, it's possible to fake lots of those things, but it's impossible to fake your kind of attitude and your insight into that market and why you're going after it, and what is that in that market that excites you, and what's your unique insight into how this market will develop. That kind of differs you from the rest of the pack. And that's what we're looking for. Genuine understanding and feeling of how the market evolves and how you kind of fit into that evolution.
I'm not going to say anything new because I think it's in regards to what these other gentlemen mentioned. A lot of it's a team. I think the one thing I will say is just the clarity of the idea is actually very important. So how they communicate this, I think sort of how excited they are. Like if they're excited about what they're working on and they're very well informed and can communicate that very well, that does make me very excited because that means they can potentially raise more money down the road. They actually can hire, but they really understand what they're working on, and that's super, super important and very rare actually of just good communicators. Anyways, that's probably what I look for.
By this time, you probably figured out that venture capital is nothing but glorified HR work. That's what we do 80% of the time. Motivations, hirings, conflicts, and then all the rest of the stuff. So again, team, cannot say enough how important the team is. In assessing a founder's character, we do look at them having the passion, because passion usually stems from their understanding of a problem they're trying to solve. They're on this crusade to fix something, and usually that translates into passion that is evident, and it comes in their ability to explain it, to communicate it, and that's great. You need that. Another thing that we'll look for is actually their ability to listen. The successful founders and managers are usually the guys who are able to hire people who are smarter than them. They're very effective delegators. They're usually the ones who know when to say, okay, I don't know that, I need help, who will admit willingly that they need help. And if you don't see it in the founder's character, that's usually trouble.
All right. Very good. So you heard it here. So before we get to questions from guests, I want to ask you one last very important question, because we wouldn't be buzzword compliant without talking about cryptocurrencies on an investment panel in 2017. I don't know, maybe 2018 will change. But I'm going to ask you to vote, and you can't cheat. And I'm going to cheat-proof this. So in 5 years, if you think that Bitcoin is going to be at 100,000, on the count of 3, you'll raise your left hand. If you think it's going to be closer to 0, you're going to raise your right hand. Okay? So everybody understands the rules? We're going to vote. And I'm going to abstain. So left hand if you're bullish.
They're very two specific points.
So let's 100,000 or 0, and it's not which one's going to be closer to in 5 years. Bitcoin, not anything else, just Bitcoin as the basis. So on 3, raise your left hand if you're bullish, right hand if you're bearish. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, there you have it. We have a hung jury. So we're split. All right, so let's take a couple of questions from the audience. I think we're a little over time, but we could probably take 2 questions. Make them good. So raise your hand if you have a question. Don't be shy. All right, we have a question right in the front. No? You were just helping them. No. Okay, so do we have a question? Right back there, okay.
Will you invest in the company which take money from ICO?
That's a good question.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we have. Yes.
Anybody else? I'll be controversial and say that on average, well, first of all, ICO failure rate, and it's still very early, is about 92%. 92% of companies that did ICOs are trading at 0 6 months later. And from my experience, I've seen a number of companies try to raise venture money for a long time, be unsuccessful, and then go raise $10, $20 million via ICO. That doesn't say very good things about ICOs.
The question is actually, if you raise money in an ICO, will you take venture money?
That's the other question.
Yeah.
All right, another question. Everybody's very shy or hungry or thirsty. Okay, so if we have no other questions, maybe Stas has a question.
No question.
No questions. I will. All right, so thank you very much. Hope that was educational and interesting for you. I guess we have a little break now, and you can ask more questions if you were shy. So thanks.
Okay, now we'll have short break. So you have time for network. Yeah? Okay.
1, 2, 3, network.
It's time to start a smoking hot portion of our evening, pitch competition. Without further ado, I would like to present our esteemed judges who graciously dedicated their valuable time to our event today. So, Alexander Soroka, CEO and founder Startup Network. Alireza Mazrou, Managing Partner Plug and Play Ventures. Okay. Artem Burachenak, Partner at Flint Capital. Kristina Trampota, Managing Partner, CGM Squared. Daniil Stolarov, Investment Director at Almas Capital. Marvin Liao, Partner, 500 Startups. Evan Nguyen, Investor at Zeta Venture Partners. Leonard Greiver, Partner at Greenberg and Greiver LLP. Michael Minkevich, Managing Partner, GT SaaS. Mitchell Winstock, Venture Investor and Partnership Manager in HP's Office of the CTO. Roman Sabachevsky, Managing Partner, Global Venture Alliance. Sergey Patsko, Angel Investor, Co-founder PV Seed Fund 1. Stas Hirman, Managing Partner of Tech Ventures. Vasily Nikolaev, Partner at Quadrum Wave Fund. Vitaly M. Galomb, Partner and HP Tech Ventures. Great board today. So let's start. And I welcome on this stage founders of Journey. Music.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Matvey.
My name is Slava.
And we want to represent you our project called Journey. In our fast-paced world, free time is a commodity. Users want to organize events fast, connect with new, interesting people, be part of a cool meeting, and always try something new. So, Journey is a solution for everyone. Journey is a social network that helps you to find like-minded people for any activity, football, concerts, coffee, etc., and earn cryptocurrency for participation in events. So, Slava, how it works?
There are already... oh my god.
Sorry.
Okay. There are already iOS, Android, and web version of the application available. And now we're testing chatbot for the Telegram. Via iOS and Android application, user can find an interesting events in the feed or create their own. Also, he can invite different people with the similar desires. It's easy, and even child can cope with it.
So, sounds cool, but what if users don't want to install the application?
They still use the functionality via chatbot or web version. For example, if you want to play football, you can write to chatbot, and with the help of machine learning, Journey understands and displays the suitable events for them.
So, that means that Journey can recommend users events organized by our partners and earn money for that.
Yeah, you're right.
So, moreover, we've seen 20 contracts for the test period in Minsk already, and our target addressable market is near $1 billion.
For about 400 meetings has already been created in our application for the last month. The average number of participants in event is 4 per event. The cost of one installation in Minsk stands near $0.50, and 1,100 active users there are in our application.
Moreover, with the growth of the service, the number of meetings, partners, and active app usage time will increase. And 2 quarters after investments, we plan to become closer to this metrics. So, Slava, do we have any competitors?
No, that's all.
Kidding.
As an alternative, users use Facebook, Meetup, and Instagram stories. But we have three main advantages. In Joiny, user can invite different people with similar desires. In Joiny, user can earn cryptocurrency by creating and participating in events. And we have the unique means of creating and participating in events.
So, our team consists of 8 IT superheroes who will change the world and become the next unicorn. So, now we are looking for investment for promotion and marketing,
accelerating development,
and attracting new paying partners. Thank you for your attention. Our contacts, your questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we plan to go to the America, and we think that it's more interesting market for us. So Belarus is only for test. So we're testing our app here. It's cheaper for us.
Right, but do you think the markets are like similar? There is some differences?
Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense to test here.
We think there are a lot of difference, but basic things we think. So it's our opinion that we can test in Belarus. So basic things, not all.
Okay, so when are you gonna start going? Oh, thank you. When are you gonna go out of Belarus and to the US?
As soon as possible. Exactly.
You're already here, right?
Yeah. You can use our application in Silicon Valley. You can create event and invite your friends for this startup battle, for example.
How is the earning of cryptocurrency helping you?
It's a viral. So now cryptocurrency is a trend. So, and we want to use cryptocurrency to make a viral effect at the start. So we need a situation when users will invite their friends, and their friends will invite their friends, and we need to collect a critical mass of users to have good metrics of participation in events. So, understand?
Short question. On US market, how different are you from Eventbrite?
So Eventbrite is about tickets. We are about local meetings, about meetings with your friends, about
we provide functionality to events that no need to buy ticket, and it's more easier.
So, for example, here you can find people to play football, for example. So Eventbrite is not for that. It's for concerts, it's for seminars, and etc. But not for that. It's a different problem.
Why I will use you instead of Facebook or Meetup?
So, great question. For example, okay, now people now people use Facebook because they haven't got an alternative. For example, you want to find a company to play football, and you start to write your friends. 1 friend, 2 friend, 10 friends, 100 friends. So it's difficult to understand when they have a free time, and it's stressful to write all of them, and often have a cast.
These misses. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Second startup, Wandel.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander. I'm CPO at startup Wandel. Smart notifications filter on your smartphone. Clicker, by the way. May I ask you about Clicker? I forgot about it. Thanks. So, how many notifications were 10 years ago? And nowadays, an average person receives 64 notifications per day, and this number is only growing. Such distraction takes a lot of time and, most importantly, concentration for office workers, car drivers, and people who just want to get some sleep. As a result, irritation, sleep disturbance, and, unfortunately, car accidents. Each day in the United States, approximately 9 people are killed and more than 1,000 are injured in crashes due to disturbed drivers. Our competitors already solve some of these problems, but partially and without artificial intelligence. FTTT, Appus, and of course Truecaller. Their success speaks for itself. The total market valuation is more than $2 billion, and number of downloads is more than 500 million. But there is Wandle. Smart notifications filter based on artificial intelligence. Analyzing the user's behavior, Wandle will sort all the notifications by their importance. So our app can be used by a 10-year-old child. Wandle will understand where and what you're doing, at home or in the office, attending an event, driving a car, or just half asleep. And we understand what is the most important for you at this moment. Wandle can send automatic SMS response. At the same time, people you love will always be able to contact you. All the notifications are stored on one screen, and you can reply to them even without leaving Wandle. About our technology is based on data analysis of 50,000 users during beta test. So we will earn money on B2C subscription business model inside an app, and also by selling API access to third-party services and companies to sort different notifications for them, for instance, emails. So 150,000 are required for product improvements and 200,000 for marketing costs to enter United States market, because the goal is global, to remove do not disturb button from the smartphones. So our team consists of 15 professionals working on the project. Our founders together for more than 2 years, and our enthusiasm is only growing. Solberg Group is not only our seed investor, but also our great technical partner. So Wandle was chosen for the first place in the world by Google in the early access category. We are prize winners in Belarus of Startup of the Year, Best Startup, and much more. We get seed investments, and we work hard to realize all these expectations. With Wandle, you can concentrate on the main thing. Thank you.
Judges, your questions.
Do you have only Android app or iOS
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, actually we have started with Android app because most of the features which we would like to provide can be only on Android. But now we see some solutions and so on also for iOS, especially if we will sell some services for third-party companies.
So it's probably difficult to get access to notifications.
Yeah, sure, of course. This is why we have started with Android.
Again, Android, you can get access to all notifications?
Yes, yes, yes. And we can manage them.
I'm curious about, have you evaluated any opportunities with OEMs or the carriers? Because they actually have a variety of services that already do that, especially here in the US.
Yeah, actually, yeah, but the task with notification is much more global because, you know, like it's not only some situational problems, it's problems like which appears during our lifestyle, you know, like, and it depends on especially what we are doing, because in different situations we need different priorities from different contexts and different apps. For this is why we are trying to solve the whole problem for the users.
I was just curious because there are some things on
Sure.
Yeah, hi. So you have identified 4 large competitors. So my question is, what do you have in terms of intellectual property that will make it difficult for those 4 big, well-funded competitors to just copy it?
Actually, partly I've asked like on the previous question that we're trying to solve like some of the problems which our competitors, for instance, don't solve. For instance, FTTT is about do not disturb mode at some place, or Appus Messenger is just about notifications on one screen. Or for instance, Truecaller is only about spam calls. We are trying to solve like the whole problem.
What are you doing about GDPR compliance and the privacy concerns that people would have about shipping their data someplace other than their local country?
So this is a very important question about which we are thinking a lot, because actually we are collecting some data about our users. This is why what we are doing is just making special patterns inside mobile app, inside smartphone of the user, and just after that, these patterns we are using for our machine learning, so we don't collect any private information about the user. We just taking some characteristics which we need to put some special mode or receive.
Okay, thank you very much. No questions? No
Okay,
more questions.
Thank you very much.
Our next startup, AdBird.
Hi everyone. My name is Aydek and I'm here to present AdBird. AdBird is a 100% automated platform for advertisers to find the perfect influencers. So back in 2015, when I opened my first restaurant, I noted that the best sales days was when someone posted something good about me in social media. So I started to push this idea. And during that, I faced all these pains in the ass. So the first thing was hard to identify the perfect influencer who can promote my business. Eventually, when I found like a few of them, the second problem was to choose the best deal, because they had the same prices but different number of followers and stuff like this. And in the end, I ended up with I prepaid half of the price. I gave free food, but in the end, I get any post at all. So what I decided to do. So AdBird actually, the first thing it's doing is matchmaking advertiser and influencer based on the different criteria. The second one, we have our pricing evaluation system. This way, we are actually counting price per post and giving the opportunity to advertisers not to think is this deal is the best one. And of course, we're doing deal protection, payment processing, providing analytics and insights. And the best thing, it doesn't matter how big your promotion is. It can be for 1, for 10, for 1,000 influencers, and you can do it like in 3 minutes. Oops, sorry. So about market, in United States, it's 80 billion social media marketing, and and influencer marketing is 20% out of this 18 billion. We're aimed to get 371 million in the first 3 years. How are we gonna do it? So we have our base commission of just 10%. It's the lowest in the market, and also we have additional premium features that advertisers are ready to pay for. So you can see. So this way, our revenue during 3 years period in the United States will be 51 million. And about the competitors. Of course, we have competitors because it's an interesting niche to play. And the closest is Tap Influence. How we're different? So our service is 100% automated, and also like one of our strongest features is evaluation of price. So we already work in Kazakhstan, and we have like some very good. This is like our biggest clients. But our early adopters were restaurants where competition is very high, and they're open for new instruments. And now, right now, our client base moved to online services. And this is our monthly growth rates of database, of the number of deals and stuff. This is our team. I have a great founder and very good marketing person who finished Academy of Arts in San Francisco for marketing. And I think that's it. Yeah, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you're welcome. they are already running business here, yes. So the amount we're raising is, most of the amount will go to marketing, to...
my question about your biggest, the closest competitor.
Tap Influence.
How big are the guys that you compete against?
So how big in terms of market?
In terms of revenues, in terms of
so I don't know actually about the revenues, but I know they are providing their service to the big companies, like Forbes 500 companies. They have their clients, so they're pretty much good competitors.
I see. So,
but we are.
So what was the plan? What's the plan to beat them?
The first thing, we are not totally similar. I mean, like we are doing pretty much the same business and fighting for same clients, but we are offering. Thanks to our features, different type of services, like it's more easier. And we are not aimed to like their big companies. We are aimed for a lot of small companies and middle size.
Got it.
You are building the platform. There are two sides on this platform: the influencers and companies that will use them. So, how do you resolve this catch-22 problem? From which side you are starting to build this platform? Because to attract these guys, you need to have this already, and vice versa.
Yeah, we started building this platform from advertiser sides because they are our clients who are paying. And for influencers, so they are actually like kind of working for us, and we are paying them. And right now, we don't have problems with attracting more influencers. We have problem in sales. Like the biggest challenge is to do sales, especially the first ones. So this is service mostly for advertisers. It's aimed to help advertisers. Also, of course, influencers in some way.
Okay, thank you.
So you're going after SMBs, is that right? Like, so you're not.
Yes.
What's your customer acquisition strategy for SMBs?
First of all, we're doing good marketing, and our customer acquisition cost is about $50. And
how much?
50.
50.
Yes.
How much are you getting back? What is the percentage?
On average, one promotion is $200.
Okay.
How are you going to win?
Today?
No. How are you going to win with your business?
In the United States. So actually, I'm here like for 1 month, and I already gathered the team of 2 salesmen. They're good ones. And
no, that's not what I mean. How are you going to win the market? How are you going to become a very large company?
Okay, so we have the lowest commission rate for advertisers, and we are providing like a range of different services, not only providing influencers, but also we're providing content creating and stuff like this, promotion campaigns.
Okay, so think really hard about that question,
So
and
we
build
are
your
giving the
business
bundle.
around that answer. The one thing that's going to make you win.
As someone who's worked in marketing with big brands, how do you find your influencers, especially with all of the turmoil that's happened, especially with Twitter, on who is legit, who is an official person, and some of that? And then sometimes the big public brands, especially, we end up telling a company that if you have an influencer, they have to disclose that. Do you have anything to share or explain on how you guys have addressed that?
Yeah, so actually we have one of the subsystems in AdBird is checking all the subscribers. So if there are bots or something, or some mass following was used to get like more followers, that's how we are cutting out this stuff. And for example, here in the United States, influencer marketing is already regulated by FTC, and that's why we have additional like whenever influencer is doing post with AdBird, there is automatically adding the note that this is sponsored content because it's like the law here. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Time is over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next startup, Raccoon.
Is it ready? Cool. Hey guys. Hi, I'm the marketing manager for Raccoon World. My name is Marwin. We created hand gadgets for different controllers for VR, AR mobile devices, computers, laptops. And upon a discovery on our quest, we realized not everybody has the ability to play games like us.
and enjoy the rides with us in the Raccoon world. So, which one? Okay. Oh, yeah. So upon our quest, we noticed that we had a couple of test subjects, for example, cerebral palsy, that had the opportunity to play with our clips, improve their psycho-emotional state, and have a great time doing it. For example, I have an uncle inflicted with meningitis at a young age, and he doesn't like playing games the way I do, but he's very competitive when it comes to playing dominoes. The Raccoon Clip is a universal controller. You don't need to hold it in your hands. It's simple, it just grips. You can do different multiple functions with it. No software customization. You can use it with even Google Cardboard, even advanced headsets. Anything via Bluetooth can set up within 30 seconds. It improves the psycho-emotional states. You use information to improve like rehabilitation centers, gathering statistics where the hands, and how they improve their rehabilitation process. This is an example of a test subject in Durango, Colorado. He wrote a letter to Svetlana Malovana, my CEO, explaining that he works with the Independent Living, the Center for Independent Living in Colorado, and it caters to different cases of differently able people, improving their residences with more independent situations. And we hope with the Raccoon Clips results in the care center that we could take it to the Craig Center in Denver, which deals with rehabilitation for a lot of injuries. See, it's simple via Bluetooth. You can set the settings in 30 seconds. You choose the game, put it on your palm, and you can have fun. But it's not only for games. You can also use it for different multiple functions. It uses the emulator, so you can set the configurations to these simple keys. Also, if you have a screen keyboard, they can also get more involved in social media and have fun with us. See, there's over 800,000 people in the U.S. inflicted with cerebral palsy, and there's a lot of research grants ranging from 25 to 1.5 million. And that's because the market size and a lot of people afflicted, just the USA alone, it's over 35 billion. So right now, we're working for B2C. We want to introduce products, let's see, about $20 each clip. We want to reach 3% of the market in about 2019. B2B, we want to sell complex solutions, software and hardware, starting from $5,000 from each care center to $2 per month per each clip. And then B2B2C, we hope that the rehabilitation centers will be able to bring forward to subscribe us to their patients and further tell us more feedback and spread more word of mouth. These are a couple of the events that we had the pleasure of enjoying. We won a Top 10 Startups in Robotics and VR by Techstars Boston, Best Project Vernadsky Challenge, International Startup Battles in Warsaw and Moscow, and winner at CDRF Global Competition. It was only recently that we realized that we could take our technology and take it to the next level, helping other people. Time's over? Okay. So let me just fast forward real quick. Oh. Well, yeah, you could reach us at Raccoon. Can you goodbye? Oh, okay. So thank you guys. info@raccoon.world. Our domain is raccoon.world. You can reach us directly. I'll connect you with anybody of my superiors. A lot of people on our team right here. Yeah? No? Okay, whatever. Well, yeah, thank you guys. It was a pleasure.
Well, as a resident of Bay Area, I generally hate raccoons.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys understand that. But
Yes.
You are apparently doing a great job. Interesting technology. I'm just curious. Normally, palsies and other neurodegenerative diseases are aggravated by other complications like tremor. And how do you guys can handle that?
Well, the things we
when people have their hands shaking and and stuff like that.
Yes, we talked to a couple of different hospitals. We've talked to a couple of subjects with Parkinson's, and we want to get more testing. We have about 20 tasters available right now. We're still waiting for feedback because this course of action in our business is relatively new. Any more other questions?
Excuse me. Could you tell a little bit more about the origination of this idea? How did you come up with this specific market? Because it seems that this device not necessarily can be used for the niche market that you are targeting.
Well, the original concept behind Raccoon Technologies is that we wanted to make the devices a lot more affordable because the VR, AR market is basically kind of niche because you have to have a $500 or up to get like basic gear. A Raccoon Clip can range from $50, or you can get like a subscription where you can get one for like $20. And it gives people access to VR, AR mobile. Just connect it with Bluetooth, and you're ready to play any game.
How protected is your technology from being copied? Somebody in China will very soon try to make the same product.
You're absolutely right. We do have a couple of hardware patents available right now. We have other projects in the future that we have hardware patents coming up soon. This is just the stuff I'm allowed to talk about. Any other questions, please? You in the back? No? Oh. Well, yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was nice speech. Thank you very much. And I invite next participant to start up Solar Gaps.
Hi, my name is Mariana, and I'm CMO of Solar Gaps. I'm here today to share with you a problem which is dear to me. 70% of my electricity bill is spent on air conditioning. Chances are high, if you're a homeowner in California, you are spending $200 a month on air conditioning. At Solar Gaps, we have a different view of the world, one where energy is free and you have control. Introducing Solar Gaps. These are world's first solar smart blinds which generate electricity and keep the hot outdoor sun out. With this, they help you to save up to 70% on your energy bill. They are installed on your home or office windows. They tilt according to the sun angle and also provide active shading. You can control them from your smartphone. You can control them from our web application using Google Home or Alexa just by your voice. And their electricity generated feeds directly to your energy grid, to your home grid, so no expensive battery required. We are very serious about our tech. We use #1 most efficient solar cells in the market, and we also have 3 patents: international, domestic, received, and pending. We are first in category, combining solar with smart blinds. We are responding quickly to the growing needs of the 70% of the world's population, people who live in the markets. And that's thanks to the fact that we are concentrating on the vertical space instead of the horizontal rooftop. The market is booming. In 4 years, the smart home market is projected to become $32 billion, and 50% of these sales are generated by smart home and automation and energy savings. These are key indicators for us, which we are playing in good markets. And as a proof, let's look at our traction. So since May, we have generated more than 175, this presentation was sent before, $1,000 US dollars in B2C organic sales. And we see the key markets emerge in the US. It's Florida, California, and Texas. B2B market is even bigger, with more than 14 million homes constructed last year. We have totaling $6 million US dollars orders in our pipeline, and it's growing. We also have their dealers in all around the world. Press loves us. TechCrunch said your windows become powerful with Solar Gaps. We came a long way since our first round. We have graduated from Hacks Growth in San Francisco. We have graduated from Singularity University. We've been selected for Horizon 2020. It's a highly competitive European Commission program. And today we started shipping our Kickstarter order, so that's a special day for us. And looking at our timeline, we are now ramping up our production. We are locking down our distribution channels, and we are starting the certification process. I'm here today because we are raising money. We want to collect $2 million by April 2018. By the end of this year, we are going to close the $300K US dollars. And our team, we have more than 80 years of combined experience. Our CEO has strong understanding of solar and construction industries. We are Solar Gaps. We are here to open your windows to free energy. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
So I'm confused about something. I understand that you're collecting the energy. So how are you getting that back into the house? You have wires that run from every window back to something in the house that magically hooks back up to the grid?
So I didn't have a chance to show a video here because their time is limited. That explained there. But what we do, we send it. Wiring can be different. We send it back to the grid via inverters. So there is a special device called the inverter, and the energy gets first to the inverter, then it gets transferred to the energy which is in your grid, and you can wire it in different way. You can connect several windows to the same inverter. You can connect each window to the separate inverter, and then that's it. You just plug it in after it goes through the inverter. You literally just use your power outlet to plug it in.
Thank you for the presentation. And could you explain the business model? Do you sell those solutions or you lease them? What is the business?
So far, we started with B2C to reach traction, to educate the public about the product, and now we are in transition to B2B. So we are in talks with big utility companies like PG&E and Sempra Energy. We also talked to Tesla about all-in-one solution because we produce electricity, they have a battery, and many of our customers, they want it all-in-one. It's trouble for us to send them somewhere to buy something else. So we are reaching to distributors in different countries. US is our primary market. And also, first we are offering the solutions through the utility companies to their customers. Second, our distributors. And the third is big construction projects, including their property developers, etc.
What is the average price for, let's say, 3-bedroom house, private house?
In California, it would be close to 10,000. Yep, US dollars. It's still cheaper than rooftop, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good pitch.
I'll give it to you. Excuse me.
So our next startup, OSA Hybrid Platform.
Thank you, Julia. Hello, guys. How are you today? Woo! Thank you for supporting me. It's my first pitch. And I'm going to tell you about the grocery business. And I'm working for the food retail for over 15 years. And what I see is that there's a lot of power at the retailer's hands as well as the big brands. But how the power is going to transfer to the consumers, that's the biggest question. I had to be here with my partners who present two great companies, but they were pitching in Davos yesterday. And I'm very happy that the co-founders of this platform, I'm going to talk today, won yesterday #1 and #2 place, and sharing 250,000 prize in Davos, Switzerland. One for Neuromation, the artificial intelligence technology for image recognition, and secondly, our OSA hybrid platform. And these are the business-to-business solutions, but I'm going to tell you today how we plan to use it in the B2C market. I was visiting San Francisco 2 days ago when I arrived. And when I came to the store, I see that the retailers all over the world suffer with the same issue. It's out of stocks and overstocks, and there is a lot of wastage in the whole supply chain. And for the consumer, it's always a problem of a choice. The average grocery store has between 3,000 to 50,000 of different items. How to find the item that you're looking for? So usually, the shoppers make a choice based on the price, brand awareness, nice packaging, and they have some maybe food limitations, but it's really impossible to read the labels of 50,000 items in the store. That's why shoppers make shopping very traditionally based on these factors. So what's missing? We don't have time to read the labels. we sometimes we don't have any. It's complicated to understand the label sometimes because there's so many unknown words, and what's missing really, what we have, for example, as a Booking.com, we have consumer-to-consumer information. We are at the shelf. We don't know which product is good, how to make the choice. So the technology and the platform I'm going to present will help to solve this issue for the consumers. Let's have an example. It's my search criteria. I want to find a local-made product, organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, with the best price, and with a very high consumer-to-consumer index. Now it's hardly possible really to make this choice in the grocery store. But if we use our application, we now use it for the B2B audits. So you put the camera on the shelf, and it recognizes the product. We have the information about the content, and it helps you to filter. So basically, as a shopper, you can have a quicker choice and without reading any individual label. So, okay, that's our existing ecosystem. It consists of laboratory where we prepare this data, where we train our neural networks to image recognition. Our image recognition module, so provided by our founders, Neuromation, and our also hybrid platform that combines this B2B and B2C data to provide the unique experience. So we have the products which are described with more than 150 attributes each. That contains nutritional information and as well as many others. And this is how application works. You point this camera on the products, and it augments, it recognizes, and it augments the picture. I brought some products here, so we can play it after the presentation. So So quickly about the competition. Some of you may know the Vivino, but you have to scan any individual bottle. So we have the team of 50 people that work for that in Russia and Ukraine with a big experience and big advisory board. And so we believe that our product is very successful in B2B area, and in B2C, it will help to shift the power to the consumers to make the choice. So that's our users. Thank you.
I know that it didn't have enough time, but what stage you are? So I assume it's going to be application on my phone. Is it release? Do you have customers? How many items you have in your database and so on?
Well, we have the catalog, and now we train the neural networks, so we expect to have 170,000 items within the next half a year. So the brands are paying for the catalog. So, and this 170,000 covers all FMCG market for Russia. So I expect in US it's going to be maybe 500 million items. So several times more. But we have the technology how to make this content quite quick, and without having the physical. We don't need the product physically. So we can train the networks, neural networks, without the physical product.
How are you guys funded?
So we have existing customers. So the out-of-stock problem is really an issue. It costs companies. We help to generate 5 to 10 additional % of sales by reducing out of stock. But this is a professional service. So the brands I was referring here, they pay us, so these big international brands, we have the contracts, and they're paying for the service.
They're field agents, they use the app, or how currently
they use the app. Actually, it's app that been used by merchandisers, so people in the store, and they got alerts which product is about to finish in real time. So we avoid out of stock by informing the store staff before the out of stock issue happened.
So it seems that you have a successful business already, which is B2B. You provide services using this technology to retailers and also to brands, right? Is it right? What is the reason, what is the motivation not to continue investing into that business and build this B2B? And instead of doing that, you're going kind of to a consumer app, and also my another question is how you will monetize it through this consumer app.
Okay, it's a good question. So I think so what I've shown you doesn't require too much additional work, because the application we already use for the B2B field audits, we just present to the consumers, and when they make the choice at the shelf, we collect the data about their preferences, how they make the choice. And this is very important for the brands and for the retailers, because now they don't understand how really their shoppers make the choice. They can look at the scan data, at the POS data, but was it really the product that the shopper was looking for? It's really not clear. So we get this data from the shoppers to the platform, and we also can understand from their shots which product was missing. So it gives us a very important field data by giving them free service.
Thank you very much for pitch.
The other part of the question was, why don't you scale the B2B offering outside of your home market?
We are doing this. I'm also very happy to discuss with any of you this B2B part, but I wanted also to bring this fresh idea here, because I think the problems of healthy eating, obesity, etc., and making the right choice is really a global issue. And here, I think the people looking for a healthier lifestyle, so there is a big market of those people.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, we have strict rules. Each presenter has only 3 minutes. Please try be in time. Okay, within time. Okay. Next startup, Kidly.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Vitaly Tokarev, and I'm here with these 2 adorable children. But don't worry, they are not real. This is how the mother of 2 looks like in a few years in her life. And I know this firsthand, because this is my wife and my real kids. We have twin daughters, age 5, and we move 4 times during their lives. Each time we move, we have a new challenge in terms of continuing to care about our daughters, because when you move, your contacts don't move with you, and they can't help you. My wife spends weeks searching the internet for kindergartens, pediatricians, new friends with kids, and so on. Yes, she eventually finds everything, but she needs it now, not weeks from now. A major problem searching the internet is unfocused information with tons of irrelevant, negative, and obscene content that you have sieved through before you find what you are looking for. When you have a baby, your life changes. You have no time for fun, no time for friends, no time for yourself. You can feel isolated. And your need in social interaction now driven by needs of your baby. And you're looking for new friends who can understand you and support you. After our last move, which was to another country, we saw an opportunity. The world needs a social network focused on parenting. We tried different apps for parents, and their functionality was not enough for us. That's why we started Skidly. Our goal is to simplify the life of parents. Sorry. So, we organize information parents need and focus it for each mom personally. A few days ago, one of my friends asked me about what is Kidly, and I said Kidly is LinkedIn for mommies. It's a professional network for men and women who works as moms and dads 24/7. Kidly aims to save your time while searching the internet. Create local social network for parents globally. Let moms know when her friends are nearby and provide a place to show off children's achievements. We started mid-2016 and we launched our mobile version 5 months ago. And right now we have roughly 5,000 downloads in 90 countries, and we are currently seeing 150 new users per day with virtually no advertising. We monetize our users through ads inside the app and in-app purchases through the Kidly game. And now we are looking to implement our scaling plan and expand our team. So, welcome to Kidly. Join experienced moms and dads from all over the world. Again, my name is Vitaly Tokarev, and now I'll take your questions. Thank you.
Who have questions?
Who do you consider your competition? Nearest competition, if any.
Yes, we have competitors. It's a few apps in different countries like United States, India, and Russia, but it's not like. But we haven't global one big competitor or market leader on this 1 billion market.
And why do you think, like, what makes you different? Like, why do you think, like, what are you doing that's very different and better than some of these other sort of like players?
Yeah, when we try these apps, when we needed like parents, we saw it's all functionality what we need. It was separate between few applications, and we combine best and most important features for parents and few unique features to the one app.
So, any insights about the current user base? How long does the current users tend to stick with the product after you get them?
How long stay?
How long do they stay with you guys before they churn, if they do churn, or kind of no one churns after they download your app? They continue to use it, or they stop eventually, and what happens?
Yeah, it's the app for daily using, and they are 80% of our audience. It's mommies, and they post some craft works made by their children and speak about it again and again, and they come back for they come back to watching what other moms posted for this case and so on. And we saw it's every day and again they come back.
Okay, thank you. No questions? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. To you and your babies. Next startup, Luciding.
Hi, my name is Marina, and I'm CEO of Luciding. I want to quote a woman entrepreneur from San Francisco recently saying, "How much health and how much time and money I have to lose in my anxiety? What if I was always happy and creative and was finding the best possible solution to all our challenges?" Could I have the, please? So Luciding is a mental platform training to help you better adapt to fast-changing life situations in a sleep. If you ever woke up having a better solution that you had yesterday, you might know that while you are asleep, your brain processes the information, and that's how we gain better skills and just in all our information. So what if we take our great ability of our brain and make it learning faster, easier, and wake up more creative and just better feeling? At Luciding, we think we have everything needed to brilliantly unlock your potential. What if you have a narrative story before you fall asleep to set intention, what you want to solve? Then you use the product, which is a brain enhancement product. It activates special neurons in your brain, and that's how you start to learn faster. When you wake up, you at least put a couple of hashtags, what has been to you in a dream. That's how you can compare it during the time, and you can compare it interactively with other people. As well as our gadget collects EEG data. As more data we collect in EEG and hashtags and whatever else can do, so the better platform learns and understands the behavioral patterns, and we can understand your desires better. During our beta test, people have reported increase of perception of memory, thought, and insight. We pursue the market of millennials and plus, and it's people in art, tech, the entrepreneurs, free spirits, and we are not focused on selling the product. We are focused on giving them experience of such interactive sleep that can enhance their personality. We want to do it for corporate employees to reduce turnover rate, to raise the success of employees working on the same project. And for B2C market, we want to just invite people to special classes and sell them packages of classes to work on specific problems in groups like they do yoga and meditation stuff, but absolutely for new. In a new way. So we share this market with different mental enhancement competitors, and before we actually have chip installed in our brain, we will be continuing using these gadgets, and we believe that especially gadgets will raise soon in this market because this enhancement is growing. For example, applications, they have the Lumosity is a brain games, and they raise 70 million already. They have a lot of people sign up.
Time is over.
Yeah, thank you. May I use a couple of things for saying that we're going to focus on data, and this data will be using by sleep researchers and other companies, and we will be the platform who will deliver this information. So this is our achievements. Angels, Kickstarter, we have this product you've seen already working, and by June 2018, we want to have 2 corporate clients establish happening because we believe art is dream. And we also want to have coaches and especially AI platform for delivering stories. Our team.
Thank you very much. Questions?
Do you have empirical data and studies that show the effectiveness of this method yet?
We have studies on our own, and we base those studies on other people. But as more data we can collect from more users and artificial intelligence can process, the more precise we can be in providing better experiences.
I mean, can you measure specific results and do medical studies to show the effectiveness of this? This is EEG, right?
In this slide, the EEG doesn't provide any effect on its own. It only measures the data. What is providing the effect is TDCS stimulation, which is all the devices on the market like this use. And what data we collect in here is based on psychological tests when people woke up. And this test was developed by neuroscience scientists. That's how we measured their insight increase and memory increase.
So how do you actually, so this is a device to measure the result. How do you actually make somebody have a lucid dream?
We don't speak about the lucid dream itself, but you can do this with our product. But we are speaking about TDCS stimulation, which is called transcranial direct current stimulation. Very known about all the devices like that use that, but there's just lack of statistics. So just the stimulation increase the level of your cognitive enhancement ability. We used to have when we just started, and right now we are negotiating with 2 universities, and we already have been working with university in Essex in Great Britain. Thank you so much.
Next startup, Bino.
Hi, I'm Sergey, the co-founder of Bino. It's a self-service platform for mystery shopping management. What's that? Today, most of B2C companies use especially trained people to control their service standards across their points of sales. These people are called mystery shoppers. Bino allows to start up a mystery shopping project in a couple of minutes and start getting reports the next day. We're solving the market problem of a man in the middle, which are now mystery shopping agencies who are slow, expensive, and hard to control. Bino connects companies with mystery shoppers directly. So companies pay 2 times less, shoppers earn more, and everyone is happy. The standard order execution process in an agency looks like this. You are to develop a methodology, find and train mystery shoppers, manage their work, schedule their visits, then approve their reports, and pay out them. We have automated all this. Let's see how it works. Click please for me. Thanks. So you have to sign up, enter some general information, then answer a couple of questions regarding your business and type of your business, and then you get automatically generated questionnaires, templates, and instructions for mystery shoppers. Then you add information about your location, adjust some settings, pay, and you're ready to go. Now you have just to see the reports and make business decisions based on analytics. This is much faster and cheaper than companies used to have for now. Our business model is simple B2B with price per visit. The more you order, the less you pay, and you always pay less than with an agency. Our core market is the US. For now, it's now estimated at $1.5 billion, and the next steps, we're interested in global presence. We also expect that the popularization of mystery shopping will attract new industries. For example, shared economy companies and e-commerce companies have just started using mystery shopping too. Our core advantage is automatic data quality control. Until now, everyone was dealing with the data manually to check whether the visit was held accordingly to the standards and to the rules. And we developed the fully automated platform based on artificial intelligence, which totally excludes manual labor and which is our competitive advantage and which allows us to scale quickly. We have started in Russia this August, and since that time, we have more than 100 B2B customers and more than 3,000 shoppers. This month, we're going to start in New York. Our seed round is 700,000, from which 500,000 we've already raised. My partner, Ivan, is responsible for the business development. I'm responsible for the product. We have 20 employees in the company. Some of them have been with us for almost 5 years. Thank you very much for your attention. Happy to answer your questions.
Two questions. What's your business model, and how do you calculate your addressable market?
Our business model, we have a marketplace for...
how much does it cost for a restaurant, let's say? How much do you pay out to the shoppers?
These are prices. If you order more than 50 visits, you get $16 per each visit, from which $10 we pay to mystery shopper. That's an average. This depends on industry. We have more than 50 templates for different industries. So in average, it's $10 per visit, and $6 is our commission.
How does that compare to the agency model?
It's usually 40% to 50% cheaper.
And then how do you calculate the addressable market?
Yeah, we actually we really expect that we will find we have found our own niche, because we work with small and medium businesses which were not able to work with mystery shopping agencies at all, because it's very hard to launch the project if you have managers and you have all that stuff working with them. So among our 100 clients, they're mostly small and medium business enterprises. That's because our current market estimations of, we really thought we would be able to gather like 5% of a total market, but we're really sure that we would expand it, because the data we have for now for market estimation is really much lower than it could be if small and medium enterprises get inside the game.
Do you think that's actually your ultimate market, or do you think your ultimate market is to go after the market that the present mystery agencies are going after, like the big companies? Like, do you think the SMB is a market that you're going to be going after for a long time, or do you think the bigger market really is still like the ones that the mystery agencies are serving?
We think that we provide the better solution for a different kind of big companies, because we're just cheaper. We can work faster, and they have more tailored solutions, because they can either use it in-house or use some managers to work with our solution. But in the meantime, we offer totally new possibilities for small and medium companies. Did I answer? Sorry, as I understood. Thanks.
I have a question. Since you have so much automation in there, does that limit it to mostly only quantitative type studies? Because I'm curious how the automation or AI actually works with things that are qualitative, whether it's the look of the food or those sorts of things that some of these secret shopping companies work with.
Yeah, I see. For now, our main automation regards image recognition and audio recognition, just to check that the script was held accordingly to the rules, and that the artifacts attached are right. For example, a check, we're looking for date on the check and amount on the check. But later, we're really trying to teach our system to approve or disapprove the visits like at all, like to see whether the visit was correct or not. And this is a much more wide field for automation. Yes, but even now, we're able to work with like only one manager for all our clients, who just check that everything works correctly. So we work even now with enough stage of automation, and this is like R&D for future, like maybe to outgrow our own market and go to more like customer experience or a wider market.
If you're starting with your own shoppers, how do you find people who do these shopping visits for $10 a visit, and how many do they do a year?
That's very easy for us. We have a big expertise working in this market. We had our own agency with a big revenue, and for now we even do not do much advertising for shoppers, because it's really a popular kind of evening job for a lot of guys, and we pay we pay very fast because we're automated, and working with us is easier than with agencies because we have to automate it too. So less conversation and more robust.
How many shoppers do you have employed now?
Right now we have more than 3,500 shoppers, and we've launched in August, so we're pretty sure we do not have much problems in here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our next startup is Sandstone.
Test. Hi, how are you doing today? Right, nice. So I'm Nazar from Sandstone, and we help busy professionals to save time, money, and be more efficient by dictating their thoughts and ideas into our smart portable voice assistant called Sandstone. So I'm a lawyer by background. I've been taking notes and doing all kinds of paperwork most of my career. And I was obsessed how best ideas and thoughts would come to you when you least expect them. Either you're driving or you're walking, working out in the gym, or just in the middle of the night. So I needed a solution, really a quick and easy way to capture my ideas. That's how we came to build Sandstone. It's a connected, automated voice recorder. And the way it works is really simple. You press a button or tap, speak, it converts voice memos into text, and we then use AI platform to organize notes by keywords, hashtags, and location. So how it's different from smartphone? That's the question we always get. Well, a lot of differences. Well, first look at it. It's much smaller. It's tiny and light. But most importantly, it's designed for voice. It's like Alexa. This is designed for kitchen. Our device is designed for hands-free and portable solutions. And of course, it keeps you away from distractions and much more focused in what you need to be thinking about. I'll skip that one. So a little bit about an opportunity. With our Kickstarter campaign that we conducted in the last several months, we managed to raise $400K. We have roughly 4,000 users as of now and have been featured in main media such as Mashable, CNET, Wired, Worldwide. And we identified 3 groups of customers. It's content creators, corporate, which includes managers, sales executives, and doctors and nurses, which is healthcare, is a huge market. About success today, we been through the crowdfunding campaign, but we've also been supported by SOSV Hex Fund with 100K investment, and also with angel investment that we just learned about today, also 100K. Our stage that we are at now is actually production ready. So we ordered 200 units, which we're gonna test out next month. We start shipping roughly January, February. A little bit about our team. So we are former Oxford and Stanford people. We have B2B assigned person starting last month with huge Stanford and McKinsey network, as well as former HP and Mitsubishi. And that's about it. We are raising now 200K at 6 million valuation, and we're open for partnerships and happy to talk to you more or give a demo. Thank you.
Thank you for presentation, interesting product. Where do you see the core of the technology? In the gadget itself or in the platform that does all the AI work backs in?
Oh, definitely a platform. I mean, it's So it's both, because like NXP is building chips that have locational AI, recognizing like voice or noises, you know, and as well as, you know, facial recognition. So it's hardware, but mostly the platform which keeps the data and does the analytics. I mean, that's where, you know, the intelligence is
because, well, people normally must ask you a question like, you know, the hardware is easy to replicate, and doing hardware essentially is a very hard business.
It is capital intense, but it's a lot of fun. Actually, you are able to establish a new category in people's mind only by building hardware. Because apps is cool, it's totally great. With hardware like Amazon Echo, you know, you're really opening a new market niche. That's what we're looking at. We want to, you know, scale globally.
Do you guys have any patents?
Yep. Not patents. We have pending patents. We filed 2 patents and trademark as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Next startup, Time Booker.
Hi everyone. It's not mine. Let me introduce you our product, Time Booker. It's a revolution in online scheduling system. The main problem is that people by appointment did not come. And it's really huge problem for the medicine all over the world. Only in USA, up to 25% of clients did not come for a visit. In Russia, the figures are almost the same. It makes huge losses. In USA, up to $5 billion. The losses in different spheres are similar, so it's a really huge problem. Competitors, do they understand? Do they see this problem? Certainly yes. Only on one resource, Capterra, we have 129 solutions with a similar functions, but different qualities. Not 5, not 55, but 129. Time Booker accepted the challenge, and what we are different about. Yes, we provide all the basic functions, widget registration, analytics, and so on and so forth. Our difference is using artificial intelligence to analyze the customer base, determine risk group, and suggest an alternative. As a result, we are going to reduce losses from DNA up to 32%. Look at our economics. We are going to end by a subscription model in B2B segment. Global market in 2016 was $135 million, and the growth rate was near 10%. We need a bit money and meet our team of professionals.
and you are welcome to join our team. So thank you for your attention. Еще один. Еще один.
Okay, so there's a machine learning component to figuring out who's not going to come.
Yes.
What's the criteria and where do you get your training data?
If to tell the truth, we don't have the base, so we don't have a decision now. But we built not the same but similar system when we were creating a scoring system in micro-lending. So we understand what we are doing. We have an experience, but we don't have a base of clients yet.
So basically, what kind of flags are you looking for to say somebody is not going to come?
You see, we can understand from the history of the visiting the group of people who usually come, and they don't need, for example, some kind of announcement, SMS or something like that. And another group, which we definitely know that they will not come, we will put them some kind of invitation or something like that.
So this group is your database of specific users by email address whose behavior you know.
Absolutely, and it will help not only solve not only this problem, but it's a marketing problem too. We can advise, for example, that you need to visit a doctor for your treatment half a year or something like that.
Do you have that database, or how do you plan to build that?
Not yet.
So how do you plan to build it? Okay.
It's a work with the client.
Magic.
It's B2B model, not a magic.
Okay.
Because a lot of people do the same, and we do really know that they put with data, for example, some kind of copybooks or something like that. We are going just to collect it and then to use it. Certainly, it's just research, and we don't have a result yet.
Just curious, but how are you addressing HIPAA compliance and all the privacy laws in healthcare in the U.S.? And I'm sure every country has its own type like that, but where your data is stored, where you're going to collect it, and how you even get them to participate based on that. Even understanding you're doing B2B, which will help you, right?
First of all, we need to, we are not going to collect with private data. It's just some kind of, I don't know, common data that every client know about their customers. It's just subscription, online schedule or something.
But your challenge, just to let you know, I mean, there are a lot of regulations that just to give somebody a reminder via SMS, there are additional regulations here in the U.S. for that. If it has anything to do with your prescription, your appointment, you have to get a lot of extra permissions.
Yes, absolutely agree. Even to send SMS from doctor office, you have to go through very complicated process of HIPAA. Now, another question. Are you targeting first-time visitors or your help for returning customers where you could learn their past behavior with this specific business?
Yes, we are going to try to use all the data. I mean that not only the first visitors, but when we will have database, we can predict first few visitors too. But usually we are going to work with current base and post behavior.
That's all. Okay.
Thank
you very much. And the last startup, Meet and Greet Me.
So, hello. My name is Elena Mshkaruba. I'm founder and CEO at Meet and Greet Me, a marketplace for concierge services delivered by local people to international travelers. Please meet our customers. All of them have something in common. They value their time, they prefer to travel carefree, and they appreciate personalized approach to their travel needs. And actually, their travel needs can be really unique, but challenges they face are often the same. And they are not alone. More than 3 million people cross international borders every single day for business and leisure. And different languages, unfamiliar transportation system, different culture, what to do, where to go are just some to mention. Yeah, exactly. And here is Kate, a verified local meet and greeter who speaks different languages, totally understands your needs, shares your interests. From meeting upon arrival, accompanying during your stay, just booking restaurants or even arranging a tank riding, she can help you with anything you need before and during your trip. So, Meet and Greet Me connects international travelers and local people and let every traveler request services tailored to their travel needs and budget, globally, in 3 easy steps. That's how much effort you need to have a totally individualized adventure. Just select and describe your services, hire meet and greeter you prefer, pay and enjoy. And Meet and Greet Me earns a fee from each transaction between a meet and greeter, and a traveler. And we project that if delivering services to 0.1 international travelers, we assume to earn 18 million in gross profit for the period. So right, share economy has already introduced a lot of wonderful services. Airbnb, Uber, TripAdvisor are just some to mention. Meet and Greet Me uniquely blends online social platform and offline localized concierge services, which bring fun, peace of mind, and totally unique experiences. So yeah, of course, empowered by blockchain technology, Meet and Greet Me incentivize and reward all the contributors who want to change travel industry. Yeah, market is huge and it continues to grow. More and more people travel, and it's not enough, to book online tickets, flights, hotels. They want more. Meet and Greet Me aims to complement existing travel and hospitality industry and make every trip really personalized experience. And here is a team, those people who drive it. And we have already celebrated some achievements on our way. We have the United Nations recognition. We get some international reward. And we even were invited to, meet Obama in the White House. But nothing can be compared to getting first customers and first revenue. So it's just the beginning. And now we are happy to meet and greet you in more than 170 cities around the world to make your trip special, fun, and safe. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so 270 cities around the world. How many daily meetups do you have?
Oh, not too many yet.
And how do you, and when did you launch?
A year ago.
Okay, so how do you plan to get distribution, to get people to know about your service, both to provide it and to...
Yeah, exactly. Well, how the story goes, when we were pitching Meet and Greet Me at South by Southwest, it was just an idea, and we arranged an appointment by Booking.com, and Booking wanted to launch a pilot project for their Genius customers. Unfortunately, it was just an idea stage, and it was too early for us, and this actually guy left to launch his own startup. But we decided to start with Italy because that was our initial agreement. And we started with attracting meet and greeters because we understood that people need choice, and that's why it was not so difficult with zero marketing budget. Everything we do is the zero marketing budget. So we attracted meet and greeters, and 700 meet and greeters are personally verified by our system. So it's not a problem with meet and greeters. As for guests, we use different channels, like media coverage, because I'm not sure if you had the chance to see, we were mentioned by really recognized media like USA Today, Business Insider, the Wall Street Journals, etc. So, and also we have an international partner.
Okay, so all those things don't matter because you couldn't answer my first question, how many greeters you have a day?
Yeah, how many meetings you mean? Yes. In average, it's probably 0.3, no, even less. Like it's less than one meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Less than one meeting in all 270 cities?
Yeah, but yeah, because we learn from the best, like Uber, like Airbnb, and they develop city by city, country by country, right? So we can't bring people to all these cities. We have meet and greeters, and as I told, we are ready to meet and greet in those cities, but it doesn't mean that we have already meet and greeting. So
maybe it's enough for you to focus on one city. I don't know.
Exactly. Yes.
New York,
exactly.
London, Paris, or
yeah,
something
that's
like this.
absolutely great idea, and that's what we actually do. And we focus on several cities, and we continue to, to develop our service right there.
Okay. Another question: How are you going to control quality of service?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and everyone always asks us. First of all, we have a very strict procedure, very strict verification. Every meet and greeter is personally interviewed by our team members, and of course we have feedback system and e-reputation. So yeah, that's how it works right now, and rating system, of course. And one more thing is that we train personally everyone. Well, it depends on the country where people, do it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, it was our last startup for today. And very soon I will announce the winner of the Intercontinental Startup Battle. Now I would like to thank to all presenters, to all participants. You are really brave to present today. And I would like to thank our partner, Epifan Video, and personally Lisa Kolesnichenko, for helping us stream this event today for our audience all over the world. While I'm calculating the result of Georgia's online voting, we will have a short mindful break from Aware Mind, and I invite Anastasia Green. Please enjoy.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Yeah, I think you do. My name is Anastasia, and I'm a founder of Aware Mind, and we've built chatbot that increases happiness and engagement of employees in the workplace. This is our big goal, but I'm not gonna pitch you my startup today. It's all about you right now. And Marvin knows my face pretty well already because we've been hanging out in 500 startups a few months ago and doing mindfulness sessions for founders of this batch. So right now, I just want to show you what mind hacking is all about. And if you're down, I just want to ask you, what's your level of energy right now from 1 to 10? 10? 5? Cool. 2? 6? Not bad for the end of the session, like 9 p.m. Okay. Any other levels from 1 to 10? Just to understand the average. 20? Great. 8? Okay, gotcha. So if you're living in Silicon Valley, I'm pretty sure you know what mind hacking and consciousness hacking is all about. It's about increasing your level of energy and your level of focus so you can be more productive in what you do. And there are several ways to do that. Somebody is going to Burning Man, somebody is trying different substances, and somebody is doing meditation. I'm going to offer you a short meditation and other thing today. Let's go to Burning Man, for sure. One of the ways I would introduce you, I would invite you to stand with me and get into the Wonder Woman pose. It looks like this. If you can stand up and get into this pose. I'm pretty sure you've been standing for a while. So just put your fists on your, and push your chest up. And make a good deep inhale. And exhale through your mouth. And inhale one more time. And exhale through your mouth. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. standing in this position and just continue breathing in a comfortable way for you. And feel your body from head to toe, starting from your feet. Try to feel your feet placed on the ground. Check where is your weight, if it's in the middle of your feet or maybe one of them is more engaged. Try to shift your weight from one foot to another foot and from forward to back. Just to understand where is your weight right now. And then feel your legs going up with your focus and with your attention. And go up to your belly and up to your chest. And inhale into your chest again, opening your rib cage. And then try to pull your head crown a little bit higher to the air and become a couple inches taller. And inhale one more. And now I just invite you to feel whole your body. Your head, your shoulders, your open chest, your hands, your hips, your legs, and your feet standing on the ground. And imagine that your body can grow in size. And right now we're all like giants, can become bigger and fill the whole space. And instead of being 5.8 or 6.2 or any height you have, you can become much taller. Just by inhaling, you grow. Each inhale makes you taller and bigger. And we're like superheroes. And just expand yourself. Just know that there is no limits to that expansion. Each inhale, making your body stronger and bigger. And just be in this feeling of big, strong, full of energy, limitless. And then make one more deep inhale. And tell to yourself that you can come back to this feeling anytime you want, just by getting into this position, into the Wonder Woman position. And then gently, with inhale, open your eyes. And scientists proved that standing 2 minutes in this position increases your adrenaline level by 10%. So now I want to ask you, how do you feel right now and what's your energy level right now? Thank you so much. That was just a short, small exercise. Hope you enjoy it.
Okay, we are ready to announce the winner of the Intercontinental Startup Battle. I would like to announce 3 places. I would like to announce 3 places. And the 3rd place is Bino. The second place is Solar Gaps. And the best today, the 1st place OSA Hybrid Platform.
This is your prize, and I think maybe you will find what you want. Investments. And so now we have time for networking, please. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, our guests.